Hey guys, how you doing? It's been a while since I heard from a lot of you. In fact, over it's been over a month really, since I've seen I think any of you. So anyhow, hope to see you guys soon. But here I'm gonna give you a little tutorial on Google Sheets, which is a very helpful free spreadsheet, and you guys all have access to it. I mean, you could just click on this little icon in your drive here. Let me show you what I mean. So if you're in your drive, drive.google.com, all right, and you click on New, all right, you could go to Google Sheets and create a new spreadsheet. All right. So anyhow, you might want to give it a title. I mean, I want you guys to follow along with me. In fact, I'm going to make this an assignment one of the days next week to actually do this and share it with me so I can see that you actually watch this video here. But so make sure yours is exactly like mine, only title it with your name instead of my name. So I'm going to just call it Colors Mr. Yakko. Okay, well, there we go. Eric Yakko. All right, so favorite colors. All right, so you might want to pause the video and take some time to type in all of this information. All right, now you can move around with your arrow keys. If you hit the tab key, it actually goes left and right. If you hit enter, it actually goes top to bottom, and you're always typing where it's highlighted blue here, okay? So take some time and add all this data in here. Okay. All right. So you might want to do this with your science fair project if you are taking measurements, which you should be in almost every one of your projects. You should be measuring something, recording some type of data to come up with some type of conclusion. All right, so it's good to have column headers. Maybe you don't have to have rows necessarily, but here I have favorite colors, and I split it up by color and by gender. Okay, so it's like really a pretend study here where I'm, seeing if there is a relationship between which color is the favorite first off, but if there is some type of bias, of one color based on the gender or not. All right, so first let's just total to see which one might have the favorite color. Okay, now you don't actually have to, I mean, you could probably add all these mentally, but if you had a whole bunch of numbers you couldn't. So let me show you how you can use Excel to make, it's not Excel, you can use Sheets. By the way, Microsoft Excel works the same way basically. So if we can add up this column here, so what you have to do, and there's two ways you could do it, but I'm going to use functions. Okay, so there's a function, you have to hit the equal button, then type in sum, okay, and then type in what you want to add up. Okay, so this cell right here is B3, and you always want to put the column first. So I'm adding B3, then you're going to put a colon because the colon represents you're going through a certain number, B4, okay? So you have equal sum B3 to B4, and it's going to add these two cells. It highlights it nicely. You hit enter, and boom, there you go. It adds those two cells together. Now, if you want to actually add up all the cells in this total row, all you have to do is click on this corner where there's a little blue box here. See the little blue box? You click that corner and you go drag, okay, and then you drag it all the way over as far as you want to go. And look, it just added up all those columns. Unbelievable, okay? And now if you want to do like a grand total of all the totals, okay, just to see like how many people did you actually survey, you could do the same formula, equal sum, okay? This time I'm going to start with the total of the blue, so that's B5, and I'm going through, so once again the colon, B15, which is black. Okay, nope, not B15. Sorry, try that again. The row is F5. I'm going through F5. There we go. I don't know why I said B15. That would go this way. All right, so yeah, so we're going B5 through F5, and it's got it highlighted. Hit enter, and oh look, I've interviewed 100 people in pretend here. All right. Now I know some of your data has a lot of different numbers, and maybe you want to come up with an average. Like, so what is the average amount of people that picked a particular color? So there's a formula for average, okay? And this is the mean. It's not the median, by the way. This is the mean. So you have to hit equals average, and it actually suggests the row, and they actually suggest it. So you could use the suggested one, or you could do B3 and you can manually type it in here. Okay, so it actually just figured out the average. So the average amount of people the average amount of boys was 10, okay, for each particular color. All right, by the way, there was 50 boys and 50 girls. You could do a total for that too. All right, and then you could click this blue box again and drag it down, and now it figured out the average for the girls, which was also 10, okay? Now, say if I messed up typing a number, you don't actually have to delete the formula. What you can just do is like go in the box, say like, oh, there's a bunch more girls that liked green. So I'm just going to change that, and look, it changed my average as soon as I changed that, okay? So let me change it back to whatever it was before. I think it was 15. Yeah. Okay. It also would change the grand total. If I change the number here, it changes it there, it changes there. Pretty remarkable. All right. So let's now go and try to make a graph of this data to make it look pretty cool here, and maybe see something a little bit more meaningful from a graph. If you're doing like something for a presentation, it's definitely good to have graphs here, not just a table. Tables are cool, but and then you could format the table too. Like you could make the background like blue if you want, and you could change the different colors of the font, etc., etc., etc. But you can. We're not going to get too crazy here. All right, so we're going to make a graph now. So what you first want to do is highlight all the data you want in your graph, okay? Now, I'm not going to highlight the average or grand total because I really don't want that in my graph. I'm going to go to Insert. I'm going to go down to Chart, okay? And it instantly picks what it thinks is the best chart type for my data here, okay? And so it's doing a bar graph here, okay, of the different colors here. Okay, a column chart, as it calls it. And if you wanted to, you could do it like this, okay, and it's comparing boy, girl, and how many like each color, which is kind of neat, okay? And there's a whole bunch of different options you could do, but one important option that I want you guys to recognize is sometimes the graph doesn't quite show it depending on how you set up your columns and rows, how you want it to. So if you click this Switch Rows and Columns button, boom, okay, right now it is actually comparing, okay, for each color, the boys and the girls, okay. Before, it was just showing the boys over here and the girls over here, okay. The cool thing about this is it actually picked the right colors on the bars, but you could actually go ahead and change individual bars if you want. Like if you wanted that one to be white or whatever, by like double clicking on a particular segment of the graph. You can really change like everything by just clicking. Like I don't like that title, I could change this to favorite colors by just clicking on that segment of the graph. So it's pretty self-explanatory. But going back to this, switching rows and columns might be a very, very helpful tool. Also, another helpful thing is this using column A as headers. You can see it's heading what each of these bars are representing here, just to make it more clear for you there. Okay, one other thing you might want to do is if you go down to Customize, you could change how it numbers the vertical axis. Like right now it's just auto numbering them, but if you wanted to change how they number the vertical axis, this is they're counting the grids by 2 there. This is how many grids are showing. I see. Yeah, look over there. You can see how many total rows are showing. And then you could play around with the vertical axis. Oh yeah, this is where I was looking. You can change the minimum value. So like, if you have like really high numbers, you could like start with 100 if you want, or like here maybe I could start with 10. Okay, but if I start with 10, then like half of them disappear. So you don't really want to start with 10 in this particular data set. You could also show like what they are numbering by. Okay, you could number by a whole bunch of different scales, and don't worry about log scale. That's a little more advanced stuff. You can change the legends and where they're positioned. There's all these different ways to customize it. Okay, you can make it a 3D chart too. Not sure what compare mode does. I don't know, nothing there. Okay, make it all fancy if you want. And there are other charts too. Like if we go back to setup, okay, there are line charts. Line charts might be good to show like if you have time, and how something changes with respect to time, if you're timing and then measuring a count or something like that. You can have a pie graph if you have like a total amount and you want to see like how much of the pie something is. Okay, and so there's a few different options here to make your data kind of more exciting and pop out at you. Alright, last thing I'm going to show you guys here is how to actually get this into your report here, okay? So if you click on this, there is these three little dots right here, okay? You might have to click on it to get the three dots to pop up. And then all you got to do is go to copy chart, and then like if you are in a doc, like I'm going to go into just a blank Google Doc here. So imagine this is my science project paper here, and I click on that, and so if we're in this doc here and I right click on it, I go to paste, okay, and it's connecting to the sheet there, and boom, there's my table. And actually this is a live connection to that sheet. So if I wanted to go back and add some new data, I could change it and it would instantly reflect on the graph. Okay, so it's pretty neat there. Yep. And then you just might want to give it a caption, what this is, center the text and say this is a bar graph of favorite colors, something like that. All right. All right, so that's about it, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying these days of virtual learning and not just going through the motions, but actually truly learning something from all this stuff we're doing. But hopefully next year will be a normal year, and I'll get to teach you guys some more. Miss seeing you all, and have a great rest of the year here, and hopefully I'll get to talk to you soon. All right, God bless. Bye-bye.